Good evening, guys, and welcome to another episode of KC Caffeine. We've been gone for a minute. Now we're back with the jump off. Goons in the club, case something jump off. Back up before the hive let the pump off. In the graveyard is where you get dumped off. We've been gone for a little bit, and part of that is for personal reasons. Part of that is because the Rona came in here and said, "Guess what? You hoes ain't doing nothing," and so we didn't do nothing. Um, my first guest we have back with us as always is my beautiful, wonderful, disembodied co-host, Blue. How are you, Blue?
I'm good. How are you, Jason?
You know, we'll get there.
I know.
We're not there yet, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
And for the first time, one of my new favorite people in the world. She is a beacon of love, light, and togetherness. She is beauty incarnate, and she will cut you. Chanickqwa. Hey, girl.
Hi, Jason.
So, what's funny is I have to tell this little story because I don't know if that's girl. What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out if this is on your computer
Yes.
or if this is on your
Yes.
camera.
Girl, you're messing my life up. I can't tell.
No. If it was on your camera, we're going to have to pause and fix some stuff.
I'm like, what are you doing, girl?
This is your video debut.
One of the things I think is funny, like I have to tell this little bitty side story, is your boyfriend is always like, anytime I have to say, I'm like, oh, what's going on with Chanickqwa? I always spell your name differently. And he's like, you always spell it different and it's always wrong. And I'm like, maybe I'm not the one who spelled her name wrong.
Whoa. Say the Jason that has a Y in it. Okay, you're trying to be all fancy and shit.
Listen.
Might as well put a hyphen in there.
Don't play with me because I'll do it.
I know you would.
I'll do it.
Do that extra.
I love it. That's what I love about me. So, first things first. Chanickqwa, how are you?
I am a bundle of emotions. Today, I had to just get out and run a bunch of errands just to keep my mind from thinking about things. But physically, I'm great. I can't say mentally, emotionally. My soul is great. I'm angry and scared, frustrated. But I'm alive, right? So that's the optimistic thing.
Right. Like, I am right now in a really weird place. I feel like I've spent so much time saying the same things over and over again and expecting people to, like, the light bulb to come on and someone to say, you know what? You have a point, and let's figure out how to fix it. And watching, I try my best to not watch videos of black men getting killed because there but by the grace of God go I, and it is scary, especially living in the time that we're in right now, where we got to deal with the Rona out here. She don't give a shit about nobody's life. She's out here, all lives don't mattering, all of us. And it's a lot, and it's a lot to like, and you still have to continue, even though we've got this giant pandemic going on. We still have to pretend like everything is okay. You know, I am blessed. I will say that I'm blessed to continue to be working. Um, but I don't have an outlet. I don't have a place. I don't have a way to process the emotions that are happening, the fear, um, and the the sadness. Like when we hit to 100,000 deaths yesterday, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's a lot, and
that's too many.
it's it's really difficult when you see people who normally are rational in your mind. You think are rational, sane people be like, I ain't wearing no mask because the mask is. I'm not doing it. You
I can't
know,
breathe.
I can't breathe in the mask. Now listen, I can't breathe in the mask either.
I'm breathing my CO2 in, and that is toxic. I got yelled at today in Target for wearing a mask
Like what?
Say what?
By who?
by a white guy that was not wearing a mask.
Did you? And you?
Oh, the random stranger who wants to give you his opinion that you didn't ask for?
Complete stranger.
Love that.
I'm waiting in the line at the CVS pharmacy inside of Target, and there's a woman in front of me, and he was shopping in the aisle behind me, and I turned around to look at some chapstick on the end of the aisle, and he was like, "You liberal, you're scared," and I'm
I
just
don't know.
like,
At what point did you stop whooping his ass?
I cannot tell you that, like, I did not know he was talking to me. Like, I'm looking around and I'm like, is he on the phone or something? Like, who is he talking to? And the woman in front of me, I didn't even have to say anything. The woman in front of me told him to mind his goddamn business.
Thank you, Lord.
The white woman in front of me with her 2 kids in her car was like, sir, you need to mind your goddamn business. And then the pharmacist said, if he wanted to get out of line, they can get him out of the store. I didn't have to say anything.
Listen, that's a black.
Wearing a mask, and the woman and her kids were wearing masks.
Because here's the thing. Here's like, first of all, if I want to wear a mask,
that's your business.
And it's my business. And if I was wearing a mask and there wasn't a corona, maybe I just don't want to be around your stank breath.
Maybe I have medical issues that require that I wear a mask when I go in public so that I'm immune compromised.
I gotta wear a mask everywhere I go. Or I just don't want to smell what you cooking.
But it also says that we care about them. I don't know you, but I don't want you to get what I have. You know what I mean? Right. I could be asymptomatic and be carrying,
Right. And it's
both ways.
And I will say, full disclosure, I am not the best at wearing my mask. Especially like if I'm just going somewhere real quick. You know what I mean? Like if I'm just going somewhere real quick and like going in and getting out, because it does. I can't see out of my glasses because they are fogged up because I got this mask on. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to that if I know I'm going somewhere where I don't know, what I'm saying, the people, and I don't know what I'm gonna put that mask on because I don't know if you've been out here, having a honky tonk badonkadonk with 17 people.
Hey.
And 16 of them 17 got the Rona.
I'm terrible. I don't have one.
I mean,
but at the time that it got intense, you couldn't find a mask anywhere. And after a while, I was like, just forget it. I'm limiting my contact. I'm going to work. I'm going to just where I gotta be, and I'm going home. Nowhere else.
Listen,
I didn't play with nobody for 30
let me
days.
tell y'all.
Ask this one.
Let me tell y'all. When they said shut it down,
it was not
this one over here. Shut it down. You hear me? Wasn't no going to that. Wasn't no going outside. Wasn't no going in. Nothing. She went to the job and to the house, and that was it. And her wife. Oh, she shut it real down. She wasn't leaving the house, period.
Rona not getting us.
Like, I was like, girl, I was like, I miss you. I want to hang out. She was like, you've been out with them people.
Sorry about your luck.
You've been out with them people.
I love you.
Not to look at each other like.
Right.
You've been out with them people.
Like having notes like.
Little paper airplanes.
Listen, one day, Blue's wife made some baked goods, and we get a text message that was like, You got a surprise on the front porch. I was like,
Because we wanted to let you know we love you, but we ain't coming out.
I was like, so I go to open the door. And I'm like, and it was funny because I opened the door and I see Blue taking off running, and I was like,
I walked quickly. I was not running.
I was like, oh, so you just gonna take off? You can't stay speak? She was like, no.
Hey, at least you got something out of it.
I did, and it was delicious too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, and it was food. See, look at you. You love. Look at you.
So,
I lost,
hold on, we got some technical difficulties.
Question about McDonald's characters and correlated product endorsement stuff. Did you know?
I'm gonna have to learn how to edit this video.
Uh-oh. Is it my fault?
No, wait, no Paul. Go ahead, keep talking.
I did not know who was having uncle.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know who knows that.
I'm going to sit quietly and watch the race now.
I love you.
I love you too.
Chanickqwa, you
Now you're curious, right?
Chanickqwa said, love you, Paul.
Love you too.
I got a Trump mask on. So it covers the eyes, you know what I'm saying?
Not a Trump mask, all it covers. I don't see nothing. I don't see the Rona out here.
Oh, wow.
I don't see nothing.
I won't be able to look people in the eye.
Oh. Speaking.
Uh-oh. We got breaking news. Breaking news, y'all. Breaking news with Linda Blue. Let's do this. What we got?
We were shopping just 2 days ago,
Okay.
and on the corner of 40 Highway and Raytown Road
Oh,
was a
Lord.
lovely little stand that said Trump 2020. I said, you've got to be freaking kidding me right now.
Listen, I'm already convinced that man gonna win re-election, and this is off topic from my thing, but this is why I say that, and y'all can we can agree to disagree or have this conversation. We could do this as another episode at some point, but I'm gonna say this one little point at this thing. I have no faith in, how do I say this the best, the Caucasians. Like, if I don't know you, I don't have no faith in you. I mean, it just, just.
You love to clean it up, right? But there's nothing to clean it up with.
Listen, Shaniqua did that to me. She did that to me the other day. She was like, when she posted that video, she posted a video from the Lake of the Ozarks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all these people got one thing in common. And she was like,
You're using your outside voice right now.
listen, but it's like, here's the thing. What I've noticed in America today, and this is gonna kind of tie into what our main story is, or our main topic, which is, can you live in America and be black? Is that as this presidency goes on further, what I'm noticing, and you guys can if you see something different, by all means, make me feel better. Is that,
Do you want the truth, or you want me to lie to
no?
you?
I'll tell me the truth.
Okay.
What I'm noticing is that there seems to be a greater divide based on who is either not interested in politics and they don't care what happens one way or the other. And those people are getting increasingly frustrated with those of us who do care and are like, we need to do something about this. And then the other side of that coin is those people who are Trump supporters who feel emboldened by the antics and the things that he does, because they don't understand that while these policies sound good to them, they don't work in theory and in practice. They're word salad,
Pretty much.
and he speaks to the lowest common denominator.
They know that.
They don't care.
They know that. Yeah, they don't care.
It's
They know
literally
that.
they don't care. I mean, that's all I can come up with at this particular point. I hate to say that, but honestly, they don't care. It doesn't affect them. So why should they?
Oh damn. Well, damn.
You said the truth. I gave you the choice.
Okay, you did. You know what? You
I could
did.
have told you sweet nothings and lies and all. They
You could
just
have.
literally don't care because it does not affect them.
You could have.
Not to the extent that it affects people of color.
I asked for this, guys, and y'all gave it to me. But you know, and what people don't understand is that, or what I would say, what white people don't understand, and I always have a hard time saying that, you know, because all three of us, we are all, you know, in relationships with, you know, with Caucasians, and although your wife, don't call her that to her face,
I don't.
she's Italian. She's Italian.
She is.
She's a what?
She's Italian. And
oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the government say she white. You know what I'm saying? But so I always try to be careful because I don't want to come across as
racist.
Well, I personally don't think that black people can be racist, but that's just because bigotry plus money equals racism. But I don't want to come off as a bigot because that's not what. Okay.
We don't have any way to control access to a lot of capital. We don't have any way to control or deny someone access to any kind of housing or any, you know, these are things.
All we can do is hurt your feelings.
Yes, we can hurt your feelings. But that's about it.
I would say the textbook definition of racism.
We don't fit it.
Racism, but
prejudice, yes. Racist, no.
Vernacular, like what people consider racist, where you dislike someone just because of their race. I think black people can be racist, so it's a thin line for me.
It's a thin line, and I get those people who don't subscribe to the same way that I do, but I think that, to me, again, there's a difference between a power structure and adhering to a power structure that is designed and built for the oppression of a group of people based on their race and hurting your feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that, I think, is the biggest difference. And that's just, like I said, that's just my opinion. You know, I'm not going to sit back and be like, if someone if you said called a black person racist, I'm not going to be like, they can't be racist. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean?
But it happened to me before, I won't lie. I mean, I've made the argument before with other black people. I mean.
Right, no, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to do it because like I said, you know, bigotry plus power equals racism. And that's my definition, and we all can make our own. Listen, if Donald Trump can make his own definition, so the fuck can I.
Jayson for president, 2020.
2020.
And you always better vote for me too.
Right.
Listen, but it's, you know, we are in a situation, and especially now in the last couple of months, we are seeing. I'm not going to say an escalation of police brutality incidents because I don't think that they've ever gone away. I don't think it's gotten any less. I think we're to a point now where it is so bold.
That's it.
That they don't care that they're being videoed anymore. You know, when you look at, and in some cases they're videoing it for sport. You know, when you look at Ahmaud Arbery,
Can I pick that off that?
Yeah.
because like even a video I recently posted on Facebook, there was a cop that had said, "Oh, he's got a gun," and the guy was already recording in the car, and he just threw both of his hands out of the car, and you can tell he was recording with one of his hands. And then the cop changed his story. You know, he's holding this guy at gunpoint in his car. You know, while the other, I don't know what the situation was or whatever, but then he started saying, "Well, I'm recording too." So then they use that against you, where it's like your body cam can be turned off, turned on. It can be, mysteriously lost. So
Yeah, mysteriously shorts out just when all the stuff you need to see
You mean
happens.
to tell me when you killed that motherfucker, all of a sudden your body cam wasn't working?
Went out just before.
But your body cam been working.
And then came on again right after the incident was over.
The body cam caught you peeing now.
When it's police involved situations, like what was the white girl's name that killed Botham Jean?
Ooh, yeah, like yeah, I don't remember her name.
Oh, when she went into his apartment.
She came into his house. He was eating his Ben and Jerry's,
thinking he was in her apartment, and so now, and you can imagine you're sitting in your home. Somebody busts up in your home and starts yelling at you and pointing a gun at you, and you like, what the? If you don't get the hell out of my place,
I'm eating my Ben and Jerry's.
Just like what happened, what's her name? Breonna Taylor,
Listen,
where's
okay.
the body cam on that raid?
We were gonna talk about her, but let's do it right now because
let's do it.
Of all of the ones that have happened, that is the one that I think is between her and Ahmaud Arbery are the ones that I think are the most egregious, and both of them are egregious because of just people either who are in power currently or were in power that had a vendetta or an issue with a specific person. And in Breonna Taylor's case, they wanted her boyfriend. The cop had already alleged.
They were in the wrong apartment. Period.
No.
They were in the reason they were there. They were in the wrong freaking house. And he was a registered gun owner. He heard somebody break in. He grabbed his gun. Like, what the heck? Because that's what you do. Somebody breaks into your house and you're a registered gun owner. That's why you have it. You show up with your piece. They didn't announce themselves. They just busted in. Now, he knows that there's just someone in the house who ain't supposed to be there. So, what do?
You pop off.
And so they popped off back and just unloaded into this entire house, or apartment actually, and didn't give a shit about nothing. They're like, they didn't announce themselves. Apparently they were in plain clothes. All kinds of things that should not have freaking happened. You busting up into somebody's house.
Yeah.
A, you're in the wrong place. B, you didn't identify yourself as police when you came through the door. C, you're in plain clothes. Yeah, you're a freaking intruder. I'm shooting you.
Do you want to know the other part of that, though?
I would love to.
There was, and I will say allegedly.
Now, I understand that after the fact, they do what they do. Suddenly, we have this police thing going on out here from God knows when, doing God knows what they had fuck all to do with what the hell they were in that house for.
Allegedly, and I will say allegedly, for those, and that they had already had run-ins with the guy, the particular cop, the son of the cop, one of the cops who was in the raid, had allegedly already had run-ins with Breonna Taylor's boyfriend and planted drugs at a scene of a traffic stop prior to this raid. They
planted drugs on him
prior,
or just on someone.
They planted drugs on him prior to this raid. This was like this was sometime prior to this. I will say that's alleged because that's what the Twitters and some of the think pieces were saying.
But Black Twitter ain't no better undercover investigator than Black Twitter.
Listen, Black Twitter will figure out things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because they're tired of getting questions, so they come in with the facts.
Black Twitter knows
Done.
Black Twitter knows how to get to reading the rainbow. You know what I'm saying?
There are scholars and PhDs up in there.
Black
They
Twitter
play
is
with y'all.
listen, you have Twitter where your information might be shaky, and you have Black Twitter where don't you come through here without your facts and your figures.
No,
because they will read you for blood.
You better bring receipts.
You better bring your receipts. So
they better be valid.
So I believe them. You know what I'm saying? I believe them. But that one. So putting that piece on there makes that story not only heartbreaking and maddening, but also just hold on, pause. Hey, Elle, will you mute your mic, please? Actually, I can do it for you. Hold on. Got it. Hi, boo. Sorry. But it's one of those things that for me is it tells the story of being Black in America. You know what I mean? Like it tells the story of what it feels like, you know, because here's the thing. This guy had a gun. He was a registered gun owner, like you said. He had done all of the things that he was supposed to do, like Fernando Castillo, done all the things he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he still ended up dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They went to the wrong house and shot this house up and killed that woman.
It had nothing to do with it. They shouldn't even be there.
Ahmaud Arbery was jogging down the street.
Jogging.
He was just jogging down the street.
And somebody
that was that's a modern day lynching. I don't care what nobody says. If you look at that video, that is a lynching. They knew what they were doing.
Of course they knew what they were doing.
They went into there to do that.
They chased him down in a vehicle. Dude's out just jogging, and some guys are just running up behind you in a vehicle. Now, you know, when you're jogging, you're listening for traffic. You can hear when somebody's speeding up, like regular normal traffic, and then you can hear when an engine is revving.
Right.
Because you're listening so you can get out of their way. So if you hear an engine revving and coming in your direction, you're going to kind of try to move out of the way and let them go by. They didn't go by. They stopped. Start asking questions. What business is it of yours if I'm out jogging? I'm in my own freaking... Maybe I'm not in my own freaking neighborhood.
What I'm doing is minding my black ass business.
If I'm not interfering with nobody, if I'm not messing with nobody, I should be allowed to just freaking jog.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, it's... But then not only did that, but there was someone who videoed it. And they didn't video it because so we can document this heinous thing happening. This was documented for sport.
Yep.
The person who did who videoed that documented it for sport. He was in the gang of the people who he intended for that to be what that is. And those two to me are so, like, all of them are heinous. Every single one of them is heinous. But they're like so beyond the pale and so beyond redemption to me. And go ahead.
I'm sorry.
But there's a challenge with this. Because the argument is that the person who had the video should be brought up on charges.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But
in the Ahmaud Arbery case, yes.
Yes, in the Ahmaud Arbery case.
Absolutely, he should be.
But without the video, we didn't never know what was going on.
And he stood.
He negotiated a lesser degree of said charges for releasing of the video.
No, that's not how that video got released.
He didn't release the video.
He didn't release that video.
Oh.
The video was released by somebody else in the group because they thought that it would help show that the people that did it were innocent because they so believed that they were innocent. They didn't release it.
Oh, never mind. Bring him up on charges. Fine.
Yeah, that man need to go to jail right with them. No, he need to go to jail.
Bye, sir.
In the car, you could hear guns being cocked in the car. They didn't care about Ahmaud's life.
You know, and
like if you're just gonna come up and ask questions, not that it's any of your business. If I'm out jogging, why are you cocking a gun in the car?
I'm minding the business that God gave me. That's what I'm doing.
Are you stopping every jogger that comes through, or am I just special today?
I'm minding.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm minding the business that the good Lord gave me, and that's the end of that. And I mean, like for real.
And I know, here's the thing. I know people question sometimes the validity of what we're seeing. Like they look at a situation the same way we look at it. But if you have made it to the age of 30 as a black person, you have gotten a sixth sense about some stuff.
Yeah.
Because you learned early. Just random stuff happens to y'all. Just random.
You know when shit ain't right. You can smell it.
Actually,
Like being followed through stores. You know, I was thinking about this today. I was like, what is some just odd? I was shopping once. I picked up a small thing of earrings, and I was walking around the store because I was looking for other items. I had a salesperson approach me, grab the earrings that I was holding, and said, "Oh, I'll take that for you while you're continuing to shop." I'm like, "Huh?
The fuck you will."
Like,
What are you doing? I'm kind of, the reason I'm carrying it is because I'm not quite sure if I want to buy it or not. And if I don't, then I'll let you know when I get to there. You know, after our a literal tug of war, I finally won.
I wouldn't have wanted
She
them
finally,
shits. Bitch, you can have them.
she finally walked off, and I'm like, what the hell is going on right now?
Bitch, you can have them. If you want them that bad, you can have them.
I don't know. I was, no, at that point, I'm watching her to see if she does this crap to anybody else.
No, you know damn well she does it to
Because
nobody
I
else.
don't, you don't want to go there. You want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I want to see you approach other customers and treat them the same. And that way, I don't feel like this was because I am literally the only black person here right now. Because, as soon as some incident like that happens, you start looking around going, yeah, damn it.
At the same time, you shouldn't have to justify her behavior towards you.
That part.
I know.
Because I try to be positive too. I try to be like, okay, maybe, maybe they've just had a lot of theft or something. They're asking everybody or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you shouldn't have to feel like you are not welcome inside of the store, or you shouldn't have to.
Oh, she was very nice when she was saying it as she was reaching for the item that I was holding.
Let me tell you why the two of you are better than me. Because I'm a cuss person and ask questions later.
See, the thing is though, it was that initial shock.
So did I. I'm still finna cuss first and ask questions
It's
later.
the initial shock that pauses you and your brain freezes, and I'm like, is this really happening right
See,
now?
I used to have that brain freeze.
I just still do. I don't know. I just don't. Lord help me. I'm trying not to be that person that is always suspicious about
the
people's
first time
actions.
that she said, "Hi, how are you?" and reached for them earrings, I'd have been like, "Oh, you want them? You can have them." Because I don't really need them that bad anyway. I'll take my money somewhere else. Thanks and have a wonderful day. And I turned around and walked about that store. I wouldn't care.
At that point, it was a point of pride. Like, I have the money to pay for the item that is in my hand, and I have the money to pay for several items that are in this store that are in my hand. At this point, I'm probably not going to buy all of them that I intended on buying. I'm going to buy these just to prove a point.
I'm not going to buy those anyway. You know what I would have done?
Because you're not chasing me out the store for no darn good reason.
I'd have dropped my wallet.
Look, I would have pulled a Karen. Let me speak to your manager. Let me
But it's so subtle. It's this crap that's just so subtle. Like, what are you going to tell the manager? Literally.
We'll get to Karen. We're not at Karen yet, but we'll get to Karen.
I need that, because if I'm going to complain to your manager, it's got to be overt and stupid. I don't.
What people know. You'd be surprised. The smallest things they teach you in retail, the smallest things are deterrents. So her coming up to you and saying, "How are you doing?" is a deterrent.
Yes. Acknowledging you're supposed to make eye contact. You're supposed to speak to everybody. These are things that I'm aware of as normal deterrents. Like, you're supposed to lay eyes, say, so people see that they've been seen. If I'm a normal shopper, I don't give two craps. I'm a normal shopper. But you reaching for my items and I'm carrying.
That's when I would have called the manager. That's when I would have called the manager. Do you know this bitch tug of war this item out of my hand? Do you know that we had a full on thumb war over these damn earrings?
Right. I'm like, wait.
Did everybody have to wrestle with their stuff to get out the door, or was it just me today?
Like, you tell me what we're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But I still would have. I'd have dropped my wallet with all my cash in it. You know what I mean?
In a certain way.
I'd have dropped that wallet with every piece of cash. I would have made sure every dollar bill fell out of that wallet. Oh my God, that's mine. I'm so sorry. Oops, 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 oops. Oh, you know what? I was going to use this money on these earrings, but you know what I want? The Lord just told me not to do that. And I won't do it today. It's not going to happen. Nope. Okay, so let's talk about, because I'm glad that we got off of death because I can't do it. I can't. Like, I had things that I wanted to talk about in line with that, but I can't do it.
Well, it's the whole, again, having to feel like you have to explain the humanity of the person. Seriously. Like, at that particular situation, the young George
Lloyd.
In that particular situation, his situation was he was called, the cops called because they thought he was writing a hot check. So please explain to me how cops called on someone writing a hot check. The subject has been subdued.
Because I didn't know that.
Been subdued. Turns out he didn't write a hot check. That's not what. Subject's been subdued. Why are you on this man's neck for 8 whole ass freaking minutes with 4 cops around?
Wait.
Why is he not just in handcuffs sitting in the back of the car? Why is he dead overriding a supposed hot check? Who didn't freaking exist?
Wait a flaming hot Cheeto black ass minute.
Yeah, that's why they were initially called.
Because I did not know that this was about a hot check. Now you mean to tell me? Yeah. No. So you mean to tell me that the man was not writing a hot?
And wasn't even doing such a thing.
Yeah, they said it was like $25, which is crazy because if you watch the mayor talk about it, he wouldn't even have went to jail for that right now because of COVID. They wouldn't even have locked him up for that. It probably would have just been a citation.
So he went to. So he lost his life over $25 that he had in his pocket, and he wrote the check anyway.
Yes.
Bitch.
This is why people are mad, y'all. Y'all don't. People are like, why are they upset? Because you writing a hot check does not mean you should be losing your freaking life.
Let's
on any freaking level.
Let's break down all the things that you can't do as a black person in America. You can't go to sleep. You can't go jogging. You can't play with a pop gun. You can't drive your fucking car. You can't eat Cheetos. You can't eat Ben and Jerry's in your bedroom. You can't have a normal traffic stop. You can't.
Can't go to Central Park.
You can't go to. Listen, we'll get there. We're not there yet, but we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
We can't. What the fuck? Oh my God! There's so many things we can't breathe.
Like this is asinine shit for people losing their lives.
I'm tired.
Like this doesn't even make a lick of sense for anybody to be losing over the supposed hot check, which you're not guilty. You know, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So that means your ass should have some kind of trial, some kind of judge, something, which means you gotta arrive alive.
That's murder. Point blank, period, end of story. That is murder. It is premeditated murder.
I even have people asking why somebody didn't do something. And just in my friends and normal Facebook feed stuff. And I'm like, there were people who approached the officer. I did read a story there at one point. The guy pulled a gun.
People that did.
He pulled a gun to get people away. To quit asking questions.
That is murder. I won't say premeditated murder. So
now, not only is the person that he's holding dead, but now the people who tried to assist him are dead.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly were you supposed to do in that situation?
So Doja Cat.
Somebody had to record because otherwise, what would we have? The cop story,
right?
Against what?
So I know people are mad about people just standing back and recording, but if you didn't have the videos in the first place, you wouldn't know how bad it really was. All you would have is the police report at the end, and the person who could have said something is now gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, Doja Cat.
Doja? What?
Doja
You
Cat.
knew I was waiting for this.
Huh? I know you was waiting for this.
Say what?
I was waiting.
You know who Doja Cat is, right?
No, I'm not sure I do.
You know, I'm gonna say that your life is probably better for it because then you wouldn't be going through the pain that I'm going through right now.
Double that.
So Doja Cat she's still around. She is a rapper. She's an Instagram thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she's gone viral on Instagram a couple times. Like she makes really catchy music. Well, come to find out, she likes to hang out in alt-right chat rooms. She likes to.
Who threw her under the bus?
I don't listen. Somebody who don't like him. She, you know,
I'm pretty sure that's something she didn't want kid now.
she made a song called "Didn't Do Nothing," which
going to alt-right chat rooms.
yeah, well, she made a song called "Didn't Do Nothing" that was allegedly from some circles. She has refuted this, but from some circles said that it was, you know, mocking about Sandra Bland. She's refuted and said that that was not what that was about. But I've not heard the song, so I can't comment on one way or the other.
You mean you didn't look that up immediately?
Nope, I didn't, because this is the thing. Doja Cat makes catchy fucking music.
Like, I can't lose another one that I can't listen to because they just a terrible person.
And the Say So video is literally the inside of my head, and I wanted so bad to ride. I wanted so bad to be like, you know, she's young, you know, she's, you know, maybe she didn't realize that, you know, that Tiny Chat.
Right chat room.
Well, because Tiny Chat is it's a chat program. I've never used it.
I didn't even know it existed until you just told me about it right now.
Yeah, but Tiny Chat is a thing, and there are a lot of alt-right chat rooms on there, but there are chat rooms for other stuff, and they're not necessarily labeled.
So you can accidentally get into
so that you can accidentally get into something you didn't mean to get into. But that was
no right way.
Hold on. That is before I realized that, and I thought, you know, this is something she did when she was younger, and so I found out that no, this was like last week.
Oh, yeah, that sucked.
That's when I was like, you know, I can't.
You know what sucks about getting older? You can't like nobody.
Yeah, I know that she used to be a moderator for Tiny Chat.
No, she is a moderator, sweetheart.
Oh, so she would definitely be someone who should know what chat room she's in and when she's in it.
Listen,
should be.
Can I just listen to the album one more time?
No, look.
You are cut off.
That was funny. She said, "No, you can't." No.
For Doja Cat, when she was a moo girl, I would be blasting.
Listen, like moo, I was my jam.
And everybody, I'd have it on playlists at parties, and everybody would be like, "What the fuck are we listening to?" Bitch, it's Doja Cat.
Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow.
Why? Why is that a thing?
Well, it's not anymore. It's not anymore because Doja Cat.
Why was that a thing? Was that her?
That was her.
Oh God.
Yes, I showed you that video.
Why was that a thing? Why was that popular? I have no idea.
She kind of reminded me like Nicki Minaj when she first came out. You know,
yes.
She had a quirky attitude, but she was genuine. She was funny. She was beautiful.
She had that Tia Tamera song talking about her titties.
Say what?
Tell us some my tits big like Tia Tamera. Tia.
Why do you know that?
Because it's the song is like it's everything.
Why? No, it's not.
I cannot anymore because I can't.
Terrible music. What are you doing? You were raised better than that.
They said
I
Doja.
had to watch a shit ton of videos to understand what was really going on, because they've got the video, like the Tiny Chats, like screenshot. There's no miscommunication or I think she said this or anything like that.
Oh, they got receipts.
You see exactly what she's saying. You see all the other people in the chat room.
Oops. You know, so now it's gonna be the apology that's not really an apology.
We already got that.
Yeah, and I was about to say, so when she came out with the day one, when she didn't come out with the apology, I'm like, this bitch is always on Instagram. Like, where the fuck is this apology? And then she put it on Twitter or some shit. And I'm like, what the
the
fuck
least
is
amount of
that?
followers. But
And
she
then
did it.
there's a line in the apology that says, "I am a black woman."
Yes.
Bitch,
So here's where everybody kind of got was what like the alt-right chat room thing was bad enough.
Wait, she's a black woman who
She's
is
a black.
frequenting
She's mixed,
an alt-right chat room
and she's
and
an alt-right chat.
participating.
But
her dad is like a South African
her dad is
rapper
but
or something.
that she's never met and doesn't know any part that does not side of her family at all.
Okay, so that's no real influence there.
So yeah, there's no real influence there, and I can understand
It's a
having
happenstance.
issues with the black side, with your black side, if you do not know your black side and everything that you've been taught is X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
But you are making your money and you are making your fame off of
Being
black people and black music and being black. And so for those reasons is why I can't
now officially trashed.
which is why you're trash. Now, I put her in the same boat that I put Azalea Banks in. Now, understand this. Azalea Banks is a trash ass human. And she needs to seek therapy and figure out what is going on in her life. But I can get behind an Azalea Banks track because she makes good music. I have
why
to
is she
learn.
trash?
Wait. Oh, girl, we don't have the. We don't have
I
the
need the
time
abridged version.
because listen, just Google Azalea Banks. Just Google it. I promise you, you're gonna see more about her antics than you are about her music.
Are we talking Britney Spears level, or are we talking?
First of all, Britney Spears is a goddess, and you won't give her too much.
Okay, that's fair.
Thank you.
I actually no look. There's the affectionate, crazy period of Britney Spears.
That's the best period of Britney Spears.
I don't really think she was crazy. I think she just freaking had it, and she was like, "All right, y'all
Britney
want
said, "Fuck you, hoes."
right? Fuck you, hoes. If this is what you think of me, then I'm gonna do the most right now.
I'm gonna show y'all my pussy right now.
I'm gonna do the most right now because no matter what I do,
Yes,
you're
girl.
gonna just make up crap. Yeah, there's a video.
She showed her whole. Listen, showed her.
As
She
she's
got in
getting
the
out
car
of
and showed her whole vagina.
and then shaved her head at some point. It was all in a very tiny period, and then she got over it. And
Listen, then she got a conservatorship, and now the robots own her. It's fine.
Wait, the robot's on Britney.
It's fine. Listen, she can't do anything. But this is not about Britney. Nor is it about
sorry,
Azalea.
that is off topic, but
I was talking to somebody the other day.
it was a level I was reaching.
Yes. I was talking to somebody the other day about the ability to separate music from
The artist.
And because they asked me would I continue to listen to Doja Cat, and I said at the time I don't know, and here is why. I won't listen to R. Kelly.
I was about to say.
I won't listen to R. Kelly because what R. Kelly did harmed children.
Yes. Lots of children.
I won't listen to Bill Cosby because what Bill Cosby did harmed women.
Mm-hmm.
I will still listen to Michael Jackson because he's dead and there's nothing we can do about it.
I don't listen to him anymore.
I mean, I didn't listen to that much Michael to begin with, but if it comes on, I'm not going to be mad. The thing with Azalea and Doja Cat, they harmed themselves.
But they didn't. They're okay. Well, I can't speak for Azalea because I don't know what Azalea.
So you don't know either, right?
But
I don't feel low.
I know her, but I don't know what her followers are like.
Right.
Doja Cat had a very strong following of young adults and children, like little black girls.
Right.
Listen to her music. So when she's saying she hates her hair, which bitch, you ain't got no 4C hair. Your shit's easy to take care of. Don't come at me, okay?
Listen, you don't have this.
Look, second, when you're sitting here saying you hate being black, but at least you're light skinned and thick, like, okay, so what does that mean? Colorism's already a fucking problem. We need to get over that shit. Okay? Her, I just feel some kind of way about Doja Cat right now.
I do. Listen.
I was rooting for her, and that's my emotional thing. I was rooting for her, because I loved her attitude. Her music was really fucking catchy, and she was bringing out like songs that ain't nobody heard. You've heard every kind of song covered like 900 times, but
Yeah, like she was.
fresh new fucking music out.
And
You
it
know what I
was,
mean?
and for me, it's, can I separate the persona that is Doja Cat? You know what I mean?
person.
The persona that is, oh my god, this person who put these things up, who literally, like I said, the Say So video looks like the inside of my head. Like
I know.
it's
I loved it. I loved
it's
it.
so, like, the aesthetic is so me,
Mm-hmm.
the sound is so me, everything. It's amazing. And can I separate that from this person? And the difference now, with like an R. Kelly and a Bill Cosby, and now is I don't have to spend money on your music. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to do that. When it was R. Kelly, I had to, if I want a 12 play, you better put $12 down. You know what I mean?
So what do you mean? Like, what platforms are you listening to her on?
I mean, I listen to her on my Google Music, which is like,
But she gets that's still promotional for them.
listen, girl, she
So
gets
with
it.
YouTube, if you listen to her on YouTube, it's the same thing.
If you go to the official page, it's stuff that people kind of copy off.
I do the stuff people copy off of, girl. You gotta learn how to.
Oh, wow. See, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, if it's something somebody copied, they don't get credit for it. If you
Okay,
go to
well,
their
okay.
officials, so
you know how people can make playlists of their favorite music and stuff, and so
And
she
then they'll put
happens
that
to
on
be
there?
in that link or that list.
then she won't get that. As long as it doesn't say the name Doja Cat or Vivo Doja Cat on it, she doesn't get credit. So I can still enjoy the music and not support the person behind it. But further than that, this girl is what, 24?
She's 24, yeah.
And I said this to you. Thank God I'm not famous. I wasn't famous at 24.
Oh God, no.
Because
Jesus.
although I didn't go as far as, posting in outright chats and, saying I definitely at that time had issues with my blackness. Because I didn't know.
You're still trying to
what it
find your
meant.
way and figure stuff out in your 20s.
And I had issues, I had issues with my gayness. I was trying to figure that shit out. You know what I mean?
Everything's new. You're just trying new stuff.
And
Climbing
so,
out the house.
So I, at 38, extend a little grace to 24-year-old person for being 24 and dumb as fuck. Because I was dumb as fuck.
I can agree to what you're saying, but here's where it differs. You wouldn't be going into alt-right chat rooms making jokes about black people, asking dudes to tell you to suck telling people like, oh, tell me to suck your dick and use the hard R. You wouldn't be doing that. It wouldn't be that.
Right. But I think that's where the therapy comes in.
It'd be different if you were just like, hey, I'm having an issue with, like, there's a lot of.
Hold please while I cuss her out real quick. Say that
what
shit again. Say that shit again, Linda Blue. Say it again.
I love you. You're my favorite.
Talk about something I'm not too sure about that. First of all, you can't use the hard R in front of me ever. Now, I might tell you to tell me to suck your dick. But I'm never going to tell you to use the hard R.
Look,
you can't even use the small A.
Ain't no amount of money going to make me race play with Ethan and tell him to call me the N-word. I'm sorry. It's not cute.
Nope.
It's not.
Oh,
nope.
No, that would never, ever.
It's a
never.
No, we're not playing race play. I'm not down for it. But here's the thing.
That's a thing?
Yes, that's a thing. But I'm not going to kink shame people who do. Because that is your emotional baggage that you need to work out.
Hey, y'all do you.
It's just you and the other person, and y'all not recording that shit, sharing that shit or nothing.
But
it's private, behind doors. Y'all do what y'all need to do. As long as everybody's happy with it and good with it, you go.
But
it's consensual.
But you're gonna use but don't use a hard R in front of me. Don't even use a soft A. I'm serious. We can't even listen. Don't use a silent A, a hard soft A, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no boys over here. Ain't no, none of that. Don't you even bring a whip this close to me. I can't do it. I don't feel it. Nope. But like it's and that's
don't bring no whip.
But it's what makes it hard is because, like I said, the 38-year-old me wants to give the 24-year-old her some grace, but the activist side of me wants to be like, she's canceled for life. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I've canceled people for less.
And that's a challenge. I get
music
it.
is so good.
She's in her 20s. It's when you're trying stuff out. I mean, that's usually, when you learn about why you're going to become the person that you are later in life. Because you had X happen, and Y was the consequence. And so now you're like, they ain't doing that again. And this is probably that moment for her, hopefully. If not, then we'll find out in about 10 years if she's still in these chat rooms and still doing stuff.
Listen, we're going to find out tomorrow if she's still in these chat rooms, because she should know now not to be there.
I just want to say
anybody can take a 6-month hiatus and then come back and change their screen name. And if she's smart, she didn't give any details.
After talking to Jayson, I had reconsidered not canceling her.
Okay.
And then she came out with the live video yesterday.
I didn't see a live video yesterday. Wait, another one?
And cocky. So probably trying to, prove herself or saying she's proven herself when she don't know what the hell she's doing right now.
It was yesterday or the day before when she was like, see how I'm not running away? See how I'm
so okay, I watched that. And that's actually what made me not so we had opposite reactions to it. Because I was like, she's done. And then I watched it and I went, what I thought about it was, my first thought was she went on here crying. And I cannot listen, I'm so tired of woman tears, be they white or whatever. Like, I'm just tired of them. I'm tired of you
ones that are
I'm tired of you fucking up.
For their fact,
and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm so sorry.
Wait, that wasn't how you were reacting at this moment when you
listen, stand in your bullshit. If you did something, I want that, keep that same motherfucking energy. And she kept that same energy.
Okay.
So I gave her, so I said, okay, that's cool on that. And again, there were things that she said in that live that I could understand at 24 years old where her brain was at. I didn't necessarily agree with them, but I understood. I was like, okay, I can see 24-year-old Jayson being like, yeah, I said some dumb shit. That sounds like some shit I might have said at some point. Not calling nobody no nigga and not telling nobody to call me one. You know what I'm saying? But I could see.
Is that a thing that she's done?
What? Calling people?
That's the race play. Yeah.
She's done that. She's admitted to it.
No, she says she's not into it. She said in the live.
There's a video of it from on Tiny. You can find it on YouTube.
I'm not looking at her doing that.
From Chanickqwa on YouTube where she says, "Tell me to suck your dick," and
use the hard R.
I also. Whoa, they're all in the chat room like, whoa.
I also
didn't
know.
make the connection there until just now.
I also know that Doja Cat is also a troll.
Like, some people be doing stuff
like,
just to be doing
she's
stuff.
A troll. And she's been a troll forever. So, like, there's a little bit of a back and forth or a try to figure out. I don't know where I land on Doja Cat yet. To be continued.
I'm done. And here's why. Okay. Because her live video that was supposed to be an apology had "I'm sorry" in it one time.
You don't need to tell me I'm sorry once. Anything more than that, I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're just talking to me, talking to you.
It was a lot of excusing herself, It was
a lot of that.
It was almost like a "I'm sorry," but in there, and that's what frustrated me.
I'm sorry because I'm supposed to say I'm sorry right now, not because I'm.
Really I don't really think that there was a lot. I think there was a lot of refuting things that people had said. Mm-hmm. A lot of putting, a lot of here's my perspective, mm-hmm. and a little bit of a I'm sorry at the end.
Okay. She remembered to throw it in at the end.
Yeah, but so.
I don't care one way or the other because I don't know.
You don't know who she is, so it's fine. So right now the vote is 1 cancel, 1 I don't give a shit, and 1
I wasn't giving her my money anyway.
1 to be continued. I'm not sure because every time I think about that damn Say So video, I'm like, God, it's just so good.
But think about the didn't do nothing when she talked about didn't do nothing. that whole thing.
That didn't make sense to me, but I didn't.
Because she said, if it really, I can change the lyrics of the song for you guys if it really matters to you that much. But you're supposed to be apologizing for the song, but you're asking if it matters that much to people. You know what I mean? Like, so it's almost like,
Well, I don't
So you know it matters, but you're still trying to.
see, and I didn't take that way, and partially because I have not heard the song, so
I have,
you have,
I have not.
yeah, because I didn't hear the song.
She's canceled her, so she's not gonna listen to anything.
Right.
else.
She was like, "No, I'm done." But because I didn't hear the song, when she was like, "I changed the lyrics," because what she was saying is the song is trash anyway. Like,
Right.
you know, she was like, "The song is trash." She was like, "The song is trash. I don't like it. It's the worst thing. Some of the worst thing I've ever done. But it's not about what they're saying it's about."
Okay, so she came on as an artist to explain the why behind her music, which is not
The
unusual.
meaning is the same. She's just saying that it wasn't about Sandra Bland.
Yes.
The
She said
meaning
the meaning was about
What's the song?
Didn't Do Nothing. The song's called Didn't Do Nothing. Didn't Do Nothing is a colloquial disparaging comment people make when they're talking about black police officer interactions with black people, where black people are like, I didn't do nothing.
Oh,
So that's she's saying they were saying that it was about Sandra Bland specifically. She was saying it wasn't about that.
Okay.
But we don't know.
I can
say that to her.
Yeah, she was saying people saying that to her, and that is what the song was about. And so I've not heard the song. I can't make a determination one way or another. So
and
like
I
got to
some
take
reference in there that made people think that.
Yeah, so I took that out of
misinterpreting stuff all the time. So
yeah, I took it out of my. I took that song in that situation out of my determination on what my feelings were because I didn't hear the song. And if I had heard the song, and don't send me the song because I don't want to hear it because I don't want to be mad.
Your inbox is about to be blown up.
But so I took that out, and that's why I'm kind of sitting on the fence. You know what I'm saying? I ain't canceled her, but I'm not putting my cape on for Doja Cat either. But let's talk about somebody that I am gonna cancel.
Who are we canceling now?
Lana Del Rey. And let me tell you why I'm canceling Lana Del Rey.
We've been waiting.
Here's the deal. The comment that she made and the statement she was trying to make, I would have been 100% behind her. She was talking about, speaking of Doja Cat, Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj, I think 2 weeks ago, were number 1 on the Billboard charts.
Okay.
Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce were number 2 for both of their collaborations.
Wait, Beyonce took second?
Listen, no, she not now. She got first now. Her and Megan are first now, and that Savage remix is everything.
Okay.
Bitch, if you don't jump to put jeans on, nigga, you don't feel my pain. Bitch, don't argue with these lazy bitches. I just raised my price.
I did see that quote somewhere. Is that you?
Probably. Listen, it's everything. Anyway, so those were the top 2 songs from those 4 women. It was the first time 4 women of color had taken the top 2 spots at the same time.
Okay.
So Lana Del Rey puts out an Instagram post basically saying, now that blah blah blah, now that Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion, have these things yeah, say what?
She said Ariana Grande.
And Ariana Grande, now that they've gotten all of these, these accolades and all of that, can we please, was something about stop.
Can I go back to making music about relationships, even if they're not perfect, and talk about loving myself or something?
Yeah, it was like basically talk about not shaking your ass or being a thought for lack of to be popular. Here are the 2 problems I have with that. The first problem is you could have made your statement without mentioning any of those girls.
Sure.
You could have said all the things that you had to say.
Or you could have just made the music that you wanted.
Which is what you do. You make weird, spooky music.
Then
you
just
make music.
Unless they come for you, why did you?
You make Disney's Haunted Mansion music. It's fine.
So you're not supposed to be in the top 4 anyway.
I'm gone. You said this.
Not Disney's Haunted Mansion.
You make Casper the Unfriendly Ghost music. It is what it is. It's fine.
Right.
You
You
will
make-
rank, but you will not be top 4.
Just you make music to cut yourself with.
Oh my God.
It's fine. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody can be into it. Lana Del Rey is not unpopular.
But she's
She
not
makes music.
top 10 popular.
I mean, she's had some top 10 hits. She's top 40.
Okay.
Top
So
40.
you didn't have to bring up 4 women of color. We can talk about Doja later.
Ariana Grande.
I mean, but Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, and Beyonce. You brought up 4 women of color, and Ariana Grande was an afterthought because you knew when you looked at this thing, you picked out these 4 black girls, and you was like, let me add some color. Let me add something else to this to make sure that I'm coming for just the black girls.
Okay.
So that's why you added Ariana Grande's long ponytail sleeves wearing ass. Not that I don't live for Ariana Grande, I do. She's kind of amazing. I feel like she says the N-word with a hard R. I'm just saying. But
Fine.
I'm just saying, I feel like she does.
As long as she don't say that shit out loud in public and on camera, and I don't know.
I
needed to go back in the closet where it's supposed
something
to
in my
be.
spirit says she uses the hard R, but it's fine. I live for her anyway. I live for her in spite. But because she made
Don't
that
shatter
comment,
the dream. Damn it. Just
because
leave
she
the curtain.
made that comment, and again did not need to have bring those girls up.
Mhm.
She didn't have to do that. Number 2, you already have a big enough following that you can make the music that you want to make without disparaging someone else to do it.
Mhm.
Your point would have been valid without naming those girls.
Right.
Your point was unnecessary because you're at the point.
Your point was
Your point was literally unnecessary and not requested, asked for, or needed. And then, you can still do what the hell you were planning on doing anyway.
And then when people,
why are you extra right now?
When people came for her and said, "Hey, you don't have to talk about. You can talk about what you have to talk about. You don't have to bring the girls in it." First of all, she talked about she mentioned the 2 names that you do not mention on the internet,
and then wonder
why you don't have your neck popped, and that is the Barbs and the Beehive.
Nobody.
Both of them.
Don't you dare! Are you crazy?
Wait, I'm sorry. Who's the Barbs?
Nicki Minaj's fans.
Okay, duh. I know that.
First of all,
look, the Beehive is crazy. Nicki Minaj's fans on another level of crazy.
Listen,
you will not come for those 2
the Beehive,
and not answer for it.
Here's the thing about the Beehive and the Barbs. The Beehive are, in their late 20s, early 30s.
So
you know what I'm saying? They got some money. They will read you classically. They say and they'll let you know they pay what they weigh.
Mm-hmm.
The Barbs haven't been to school since March.
They got time.
They have nothing but time.
Yikes.
All they the Barbs
all the time.
The Barbs are not a game. They're not here for the bullshit. They will end your life. They will find. Listen, the Barbs have nothing but computers and time, and they will find your information and send a pipe bomb to your house because they don't give a shit. Look,
there are no pipe bombs coming to the house. They don't come and visit personal like.
Listen, to the point where when Nicki Minaj married that
friends, don't play with these people. They are not joking with you.
When Nicki Minaj married that man that she's married to right now, the Barbs was gonna go get him. They was gonna come get him.
Y'all know Jay-Z almost died, right?
They don't care. The Barbs have no shame. So the last thing that you need to do,
if Lemonade hadn't been made and her sister hadn't stepped up, I'm afraid Jay-Z.
That's the Beehive, and they have sense.
Disappeared. He'd have been there one day and gone the next.
The Beehive, and that's the Beehive. They have sense. So the last thing that Lana Del Rey should have ever done was mention those 2 names if she didn't want to get stung and stabbed, because that's what they'll do. The Beehive is going to sting you. and the barbs will stab you because they don't care.
Don't play. Don't play.
So our final thing today that I want to talk about. Actually, we have two more things, but speaking of white women,
Wherever is this going to go?
I'm waiting.
so what was that lady named? Lucy Cooper,
Say who?
Sharon Cooper, Karen Cooper. I'm gonna call her Karen Cooper.
Another Karen. Okay.
Because what is it?
Oh, you said Central
Oh,
Park?
Amy Cooper, yes, Central Park.
Mhm.
That if it were me, I would have sent that woman to jail for attempted murder.
You know, the thing about the Amy Cooper thing, it's kind of surprising how many people are saying that he was also in the wrong just because he started recording her. Or like they're like, well, her dog wasn't doing anything, so he shouldn't have harassed her.
Okay.
Her dog was not allowed to be out in Central Park without a leash.
That's how this started. He was like, your dog needs to be on a leash.
Right, because it's Central Park.
In the area she was in, it was supposed to be a leash space. Because apparently there was on Twitter there was the conversation that he related back. He was advising her that your dog should be on a leash. And then she said, well, my dog just needs to go run. He responded like, okay, well, this area he has to be leashed. If you go over here, he can be unleashed and run as he needs to. And she came back with something else. And then apparently he carries around dog biscuits in his pocket to prove
Well, he's a bird watcher.
But he's like,
he's also
all right.
He's also 50 and fine. You know what I'm saying?
So apparently he was like, all right, and he wanted to prove a point. He's like, your dog should be leashed. So he reaches in his pocket, grabs out a dog treat, starts to call the dog over. She's like, my dog's not going to come to you. Apparently the dog started to come to him, and then it was suddenly, don't you touch my dog! He was proving a point. Like, this is why your dog should be leashed. Because they're just going to run around, and they're not supposed to be running around loose in this particular area. There is an area for them to run around in. Just take them over there. Apparently it wasn't that far away. Just take them over there. And then it escalated from there. And then she's like, I'm calling the police. He's like, please do. That's when he started. That's when I think we started.
That's when he started recording, yeah. And then that's when she said, I'm going to tell the police that
you threatened my life.
You threatened my life.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I have two things on this. Number one, I know it was not a white woman out here flouting rules.
What?
Like, they wasn't calling the cops on people for selling water, for grilling outside. For selling water.
Like having water.
For having a shirt on in the pool. For all of these, you need to ridiculous, you better be the paragon of rule following. Do you hear me?
A. And B, it better be a place you actually have some authority over. Like the person's in your house, they're in your backyard, they're in your car. If we're out in public.
When she called that police, where I thought, like, when it was just the back and forth between the two of them, I was like, this is funny. Because she's really going crazy. And then when she called and her voice changed.
You heard that too. Like, it was, there's a man out here harassing me. And they were like, what's going on? And then by the third time they asked her what's going on, you could hear the voice change into the fear, I'm scared. Nothing had changed in her immediate surrounding. She was actually trying to control her animal while talking on the phone, but she got that inflection in her voice that you get when you're trying to get a reaction. Oh my God! I went like, oh my God, she's gonna get this man killed.
Yep, and that's why I said she should go to jail for attempted murder. Because
it didn't.
You don't know.
It didn't require any of that. At that point, she was irritated with him.
She could at least be charged with false reporting to the police.
Well, she is being charged with false reporting to the police.
Yeah.
But think about it like this. This is why I say this. Knowing the climate that we're in right now, you know what I'm saying? Knowing the pandemic and the fear that people are feeling right now. You had the cop that shown up on that been a different type of cop,
we'd have another.
That would have been a completely different situation than what it is. And thank God, by the grace of God, everybody in that altercation was safe. But someone posted, a news article that called him a survivor, and they were like, I think survivor is a little too strong of a term. And I said, no, that is absolutely what he is.
There's a
Because
reason
he
he
very
turned his
well-
video on right then.
Because he very well could.
Because
That
he
could have been the
literally
end of his
caught
life.
her going from I'm angry to well, this isn't quite getting me what I need, so I'm going to change my tone to get people out here to make them think that I'm afraid and I'm in trouble.
And it was calculated.
When neither of those things was true. She was just irritated because she didn't want him telling her the rules of the park, which are your dog's not supposed to be running loose right here. This is literally an area where they're supposed to be leashed. There's literal signs posted. Because there's pedestrians walking through and everything else. Just trying to be polite to the rest of society.
Leash your motherfucking dog.
When you caught, you just go, I'm sorry, you put the leash on your dog, and
you keep it pushing.
You keep it moving.
You could have walked. Listen, you could have waited until he walked 10 feet down the road
and
unleash that dog.
Do anyway.
It didn't have to be what it was. And okay, so we're getting close to the end. But I have one more thing that I want to talk about, and it is our moment of levity for the week. It is the greatest story that I've heard today.
Okay.
So there was a man who was charged with breaking into a bank. He was arrested and caught at the scene of the crime.
Was he butt naked or something?
He was not butt naked. All that he wanted, where they caught him at, was in the break room at the microwave, making him a Hot Pocket. Now, they do not know whether he came into the bank with the Hot Pocket, but he was heating that Hot Pocket up when they caught him. Now,
yeah, that was the look I had too when he was first trying to tell me this. I'm like, so.
No, I don't know where this was. It doesn't matter. You know where what this man is my new hero of the week, and this is why. Because as they were taking him to jail, the news was out in the front, and someone asked him if it was worth it, and he said, "Hell yeah, I wanted a Hot Pocket." The man knew what he wanted, and he knew how to get it.
My thing was convenience stores.
Listen, you trying to bring logic.
I know. I'm trying to bring logic to the story because it don't make a dang bit of sense.
You trying to make sense where there's nonsense, and you know you can't do that.
I can't.
What you have to do.
Try.
What you have to do is take things for where. Girl, you know he was black. You know damn well. When he said, "Hell yeah, I want a Hot Pocket," you know damn well.
I mean, like, did he even have a neighbor's house he could slide into and just borrow my
convenience stores have all kinds of microwaves that you just pop in.
Listen, he had a problem that needed a solution. He found the solution.
The solution was extreme on all levels. Why are you breaking into a bank to heat up a Hot Pocket, sir? You don't have no friends.
He needed a Hot Pocket. He had a Hot Pocket. He needed that Hot Pocket heated up. The only airplay space that he could think of that was available was the bank. He went into the bank. Now, he didn't touch no money. He left the money where it was. He went to the break room, went to the microwave, made the Hot Pocket.
You couldn't go into Walmart? Like, Walmart's 24/7,
like, see? There's all the questions, right?
Where are you going to get a microwave at a Walmart, though?
On the shelf?
In the break room.
On the break room.
Just like in the bank.
And it'd probably been easier to walk into the Walmart, grab one of those little vests, throw it on, just walk on back in the employees only area.
Y'all over here trying
Don't you do that if anybody's listening. Don't you dare test this theory.
Y'all are out here still trying to make sense out of nonsense, like you're telling you can't do that. What this was Exactly what it sounds like. A problem and a solution. He had a hot pocket that needed to be warmed up. There was a bank. Inside the bank, he saw that there might be a break room. He broke into the bank, went to the break room, heated up his hot pocket. He just couldn't get out the bank before they showed up.
Because he tripped an alarm because he broke into a bank.
Because he broke into the bank. Now,
he was high as hell.
you know he was high as giraffe pussy. You know it.
Like, if that hot pocket was worth that much, he did not have.
He said it was a good ass hot pocket.
Oh yeah.
He said it was a good ass hot pocket. Now,
you hungry? You were so high at that point.
He was, listen, high as a cooter brown. You hear me? That man jumped up in the air and stayed there.
I'm dead.
I got nothing.
Guys, I had to give y'all that moment of levity
I got nothing.
because this has been a heavy episode. But geez, when I saw that story, I tell you, I almost fell out my chair because I was like, what? Did they say a hot pocket? Okay. Shit was hilarious. At any rate, Chanickqwa, thank you so much for being on this episode.
Thank you for having me. It was the first time I've ever been a part of something like this, so I appreciate it.
Well, you are more than welcome to come back anytime you want.
Oh, okay. Even though I live all way.
Did anybody tell you to move all the way across town?
Yonder.
You know,
You're so far away, girl.
When we get back open again, you know, maybe we'll have to do this in person, and like then we can all be on the same screen.
I'm still
And
gonna
then
be
that way-
disembodied voice.
That way you can get your glam squad out. You know what I'm saying?
You don't wear no makeup.
I know you do.
I just make my hair look better. I got balls going on right now.
All right. Thank you, Blue.
You're welcome, Jason.
Thank you to all of the lovely people who were in the chat. Thank you to everyone who is listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe on the Anchor podcast, anywhere you can get your podcast. This video will be up on the YouTube channel that is brand spanking new. There's only like 3 things on there, so get on the YouTubes. Why are you like?
I'm like, I don't know.
I'm a YouTube star. If you feel inclined and you have a couple of extra dollars in your pocket, we have a Patreon page. In order for you get on that Patreon, you get access to the Patreon's exclusive Discord. You get all kinds of goodies. You get the episodes early. You might even get a chance to be here as part of a live episode.
Ooh, you stepping that up.
Stepping the game up. We're doing all of this. You know what I'm saying? The Rona tried to put me down, but you won't put me down. I'm like a man with a need for a hot pocket.
He was saying
So
that
you need to get
all
arrested.
day. He's been waiting to see that all day.
Oh my god.
Oh,
He's like, I can do this. I can fit this in, right?
can't stop me. What your bank security gonna do? Nothing. I got a hot pocket. And I'm
He's
hungry.
like, if you don't sit out here and give me that dang hot pocket, I will bring you your dang hot pocket. Don't go to jail over this.
Listen, I'm slightly high and I'm hungry.
Give me the hot pocket. I will bring you your hot pocket all warmed up. But you're not going to jail or breaking into this bank right now. I won't let you do it.
Y'all give to the Patreon so I don't have to break into a bank to heat up a hot
Right?
pocket.
Please save him from himself.
Save me from give to the Patreon. I don't want to have to go to the bank.
Because I can't watch him all the time, so y'all have to help me.
God.
He get all these weird ideas off the internet.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching and being a part of this. It's amazing. We're gonna try to do this. You know, now that we're back, we're gonna try to do this more often. Love you guys and stay woke, folk. Bye.
Bye.